Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 191, Lamar, Alien Planet.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of like those old school 80s movies where they had like, masks
I
on
had
like
a
the actors and stuff like that.
I had a different perspective, but I'm going to
What's
save
your
it. Yeah,
perspective?
we'll
Oh,
go. We'll
okay.
go. So we'll start where we always start, then with the story.
We're in a story where we're talking about a dying planet.
A dying planet and two races of, I guess, what we'll call aliens.
Well, yeah, and
Right.
to us because
To
we're
us.
human. Yes. Two warring alien races don't like each other.
Right.
One was banished to this place, which doesn't really have water, but they have to get like this vial that they can use a drip of to get water. However, the people who banished them, their planet is dying for some reason, so they need that same vial to take it back to their actual alien planet. But these people on this planet, these aliens are like, F you guys are a-holes. We don't want to give it to you. And then they kind of run into each other. Then there's a big monster called a Dweller, and they have to interact with each other.
Almost like an episode, multiple episodes actually, of like TNG, where you have two characters that don't like each other, rival races or factions or whatever, but because of the situation, they have to like band together, and then they almost learn about each other and their similarities, whatever.
Yes.
I don't dislike it, but I've seen it so many times that I was like, I thought it was well done, but it did lag a little bit in the middle for me. So I give it a half point for story.
Everything you just said, that is the problem, is lagging. Yes, it's half a point. They have a really good foundation.
Yes.
Really, really good. Like you said, it just lagged because, well, they get stuck in an alien ship, then they're talking to each other and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
for way too long in there.
Yeah, and then you're just like, can something else happen?
We move on, and we have to talk about the different characters.
Okay, so we have the female alien Locke. She is married to Kak, where they live on the planet that they've been banished to. Her husband, Kak, basically gets killed by one of the other aliens that is the same race as Broshit, who has been sent on the mission to get the vial.
And you left out an important character, Lamar, the little cat, alien cat.
Gyri, but this goes back to the lore. That's like a healing thing, and then Broshit's race hoarded all of them, and that's how they overpowered the race that's been banished to this planet.
I like the characters for the most part. Like I said, it was more their interactions that I had a problem with. It goes back to our previous category, but I thought the characters were well done. They gave them all kind of backstories and motivations and stuff, so I'll give it 1.
I agree. I like the characters. They all kind of look the same, but they have different personalities.
Yeah,
so that helps. So it was the actors did a very good job too.
Yeah, they did. Next category, Lamar, the special effects / makeup effects.
The makeup was done very well, in my opinion. Like it's kind of like, what they had to the best of their ability. And I kind of like the look of these aliens.
Yeah.
Like I like the design of them. Nowadays, it's like, I think the prosthetics are different where it's like really attached to your face and stuff like that because of like new techniques. This is like the old school, you put a mask on somebody and they have to like act. So I liked that look. So I really liked that part. Effects-wise, practical effects, awesome. There's a lot of blood spurts.
A lot of blood spurts. Because you mentioned like it's kind of an 80s. To me, it reminded me more of like some 90s stuff. It reminded me more of like Farscape and some TNG stuff. But also just like more gory. I mean, the only kind of character that looked a little silly was the little cat creature, but it almost was kind of charming at the same time.
See, I feel like that creature fits with this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think that's what maybe they were going for, like kind of a throwback to what you were saying, like the Farscapes and stuff like that.
Yeah, very cool. And the big creature too, like that was like a big suit or something that person had to wear. So, I mean, what do you give it?
I gave it a 1.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a 1. I thought they did a great job. I love that aspect of it. So if I could give them more than 1, I would. But so the next category is action.
They had cool action, but it wasn't enough. That's what I think the problem is. I think the laser guns looked cool. I
Yeah.
think that was good. The action was too spread out where I was just like, can something happen? Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Like it started off pretty hot. Like
it
came
did.
in, and then you had that lag in the middle. There was little fight scenes here and there, but I thought it was going to be more of an adventure, like them out doing stuff. But then they were like,
Yes.
I don't want to give them a zero. I'll give them a half point for action.
Agreed. Yes.
All right, our last category, Lamar, sequel potential.
Well, I'll say this. The movie ends on, I think, an underlying theme of like we have to work together. In my We Are the World analysis of this movie is sometimes you have to put things in the I guess in the rear view or leave things in the past to move forward.
Yes.
Because we're all in this together. But
Yes.
somebody said, F that shit. You people, I don't like you people. So that message is cool. Now, as a sequel, I don't know how would they do it as a sequel because it's almost like things aren't looking good for both races. So how would they do a sequel then?
Well, you're gonna have to introduce more characters to attempt the getting the thing again. Eventually, they're gonna have to come together against maybe some kind of common enemy or something, right?
I would like to see more of like the makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah. So my thing was, I want to see more of this, but not as a movie. To me, this is a more interesting show, like a Farscape, like a TNG or an Andromeda. Like I see it more like that. Like this maybe being a really cool web series or something. I
You
definitely
stole
would
my
want to see
line,
that.
Joe. You stole. I said everything, Joe.
It's been a while since you said that,
It's
Lamar.
been a while. I used to always say that about everything, but yeah, that would be interesting because it's like I feel like they have a lot that they can talk about because there's like a war that happened. There's a
Yeah.
different species. There, even their makeup of their bodies was interesting. I was like, oh. Then you have the Peach, the little creature, and stuff like that. So they have a lot of stuff that is like, oh, well, I would like to know more about this world. So yeah, that is interesting.
So you're giving it what?
I'll give it a 1.
1 point. I also give it 1. Like I said, even if it wasn't a good movie, if they made another one, I just like the effects. I liked it, like the whole thing they did, the aesthetic of it and everything. It just, like I said, it kind of brings me back to the old shows that I used to watch. So I liked it.
Yeah.
Well, Lamar, we tallied the score here, and Alien Planet gets a 4 out of 5.
This movie pacing could have been a little bit better.
Yeah,
a little bit more action. What if, Joe, they made a time machine and went back in time? How would they go back in time? Would they go around the sun like in Star Trek or something like that, Joe?
What happens if they go back in time, Lamar, and they find out that these alien race actually used to be human at some point, and there's something in the past that the humans did that caused them to mutate to these alien creatures that we see now in the present?
It's so convoluted. It sounds interesting.
How's that convoluted? That makes perfect sense.
I was thinking like maybe they go back in time and then talk to each other and say, hey, we shouldn't be warring against each other because we're going to die. Like
that sounds super. So your time travel plot is that someone goes back and talks, and everyone's like, oh, okay, you know what? This guy's right. Yeah, we shouldn't be against each other. The end.
I'm going off the We Are World thing. That's what I'm going off of. I'm just throwing out ideas. Time travel. I said they can go around the sun or some shit. Or maybe it's like they have to take out like that one person that kind of like jumps stuff off or something like that. Like in, what was it, Future Days Past, the X-Men movie? Like they have to kill this one person because they're the person that sets off the rift between the two races.
Does that wrap this up then?
Shut up. Yes, it does. Yeah, I think, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well, Alien Planet. Peace.
Deuces.